Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Andrew. These are the Car King reviews, and today we're going to be talking about the S60. Now, I don't know if you've seen my first video that I put out, but I'm just starting my channel. Wanted to talk about kind of what I do and who I am and why I'm doing this, so you can check that out in my first video. I own a 2013 Audi A4 that I just went stage 1 with, and again, talk about kind of what I'm doing and what I'm going to be doing here going forward. Now, I know you probably clicked on this video because I said a pretty big statement in the title. The Volvo S60 is better than its BMW, Audi, Mercedes equivalent. Now, I'm going to talk to you guys about why I think that is. So follow along. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some quick shots of the exterior, show you the interior. We'll take it for a quick drive. I'll give you my thoughts on it and why I made that big statement. So follow along and let's go for a ride. Alright guys, we're going to be going for a ride real shortly, but I want to talk to you quickly about why I made that big statement and kind of have a really brief overview about what's behind that. Now, I think that Audi, BMW, and Mercedes are three amazing companies, and I myself, I'm a huge Audi enthusiast, so it's really tough for me to say that this is a better car than any of the equivalent. But they have some massive pedigree. BMW has owned this segment for as long as I can remember. Although I don't think they own it now. Mercedes has some really cool new stuff out, as well as outside changes. They've also had massive interior changes, and some of the stuff that they're coming out with in 2019 and 2020 in the lower segmented cars like the C-Class, CLA, is that kind of Omni screen, which I think is really cool. So they're doing a really great job. And then Audi as well has come leagues above where they were in the early 2000s. So that being said, and if you're a pure driving enthusiast and you love German engineering, you're probably not going to look at the S60 anyway. But if you're looking to make that jump into something where, you know, you're just getting into the luxury segment as an entry level, this is a really good car to take a look at, and I definitely encourage you to do so. So I just talked about Mercedes and their big Omni screen. Now, Volvo's done things a little bit differently. They have a digital dash and a standard 12.3-inch LCD screen in the middle of their console. Now, I think this is really, really cool because, again, comes standard with the base model S60. The interior is really nice. There's lots of nice leather. The steering wheel looks beautiful. It feels really nice in your hands. Everything is very elegant. There are some cute little quirks. For example, I've never seen this before, but this start-stop button is actually a knob that you twist, and that kind of turns the car on, which is different. It has its drive mode selector right under that, but the interior of this car is really nice. It definitely belongs in this segment. It's very refined. You have some brushed aluminum, high quality leathers. There is some plastics that aren't great, but I mean, for starting at 36,000, this is a really, really great kind of interior to jump into. So guys, this is the inside of the Volvo S60. As you can see on the right hand side, there's this really big infotainment system where you'll have all of your car settings, your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, maps, everything like that, just like any other kind of infotainment system within the car. And then as you'll see here, when I go to start the car, that's the actual start button there. You have the full digital dash here in front of you, which is really nice. You can customize it, change it up to whatever fits your liking. Okay guys, time to go on that ride, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how this car drives, compare it to its German counterparts, and why I think it's so good. So when you look at both this car, the Audi, the BMW, the Mercedes, this has a very similar powertrain to some of its counterparts, and people here are so friendly in Virginia. But it's very, very similar. So this has two different kinds of powertrains. It has the first powertrain, which is a 250 horsepower, 258 foot-pounds of torque. And when you look at the A4, the 330, and the C-Class, that's very comparable. They're all around 250 and 270, 290 foot-pounds of torque. So this may be on the lower side of that, but it's very, very peppy. It's very quick. and it puts the power down really, really well. Now, when you look at how the car actually performs, you probably wouldn't notice a difference between this car and any of the equivalents in terms of how quickly it puts the power down. The reason why I think it's so good as well with putting that power down is this is a great transmission. Now, I've driven a lot of the newer Audi A4s, and this reminds me so much of that car. Now, the transmission in this is a 8-speed automatic transmission. The transmission in the A4 is a 7-speed dual clutch. Now, the dual clutch should shift faster than this, and it does, but this is so quick that I thought that it could potentially be a dual clutch. Now, another reason why I think this car is so great to be inside of, it's so great on the road, is here are the quick shifts. Why it's so great on the road is it's super comfy. It's a very nice place to be inside of. The seats are very, very comfortable. There's leather everywhere. It feels nice to grab the steering wheel and drive around. The interior cabin is laid out very nicely. But if you really want to kind of maybe take it around a couple of corners, a couple back road corners, there's the drive mode selector. Now, you have 3 modes when you access this. You have the comfort mode, eco mode, and dynamic mode. There's also an individual mode, so you can kind of tailor make the car to how you like to drive, and you can put it in, for example, let's say we want to put it in dynamic mode, which again adjusts throttle response, adjusts the transmission, adjusts how quickly it kind of puts the power down, how the transmission changes gears, it holds its revs a little bit longer. This is a great vehicle. You definitely feel like you're in a luxury car. This is definitely worthy of being in this segment. Now, you don't get the clout that a lot of the other brands bring with it. This is not a BMW, this is not an Audi, this is not a Mercedes, you're sitting in a Volvo. So if you're a true driving enthusiast and you want to look at maybe the German engineering, this probably isn't the car for you. But if you're looking at this car considering, I might buy this car, you have to test drive it because it's really, really good and really great value. Now, I spoke about the powertrains earlier and how this is sitting at maybe the lower end of the spectrum. The good news is you can get into the T6 model for an extra $4 grand, so right about 40 grand. So right about 40 grand, and you can tell that I'm in dynamic mode because it's just holding that gear for me. You can get the T6. Now, the T6 powertrain has 316 horsepower and 295 foot-pounds of torque. And those are great numbers. That's borderline on the S territory in the 340. I know it's nowhere near them, but it's much better than anything that the A4 330 and BMW C300 offers. So this is definitely worthy to looking at. And if 250 and 258 isn't good enough for you, check out the T6 model, because you can get into that for an extra $4 grand above this base model. Now, I will admit, this is not as nimble or as athletic as some of its counterparts. Now, you have to consider that those other cars have been doing what they do for a long, long time. There's a lot of pedigree that goes with that. But if you're not taking this car around the track and you're just going out as a daily driver, maybe some spirited drives on the weekend, this is a really, really nice alternative to those other 3 models. So guys, overall, I think that this is a really nice total offering. You're paying less money than any of the counterparts. You're getting equal or better performance. You're getting a really nice interior that can rival any of its German counterparts. You're getting a super nice laid out interior. It's very comfortable, it's very quiet, it's a very nice place to be. The fuel mileage is basically the same across the board. This is 23 and 34, city and highway respectively. That's pretty much the same across the board, give or take a mile per gallon on each side. If you want to pay between $3,000 and $5,000 less for a vehicle than the A4 330 and C-Class, this is definitely the way to go. You have to take a look at the Volvo S60. Now, the only real downside, again, is this isn't a German engineered car. It doesn't have a brand behind it that is going to make you feel good. Volvo is a really great brand, and the people behind them love them. But to be honest, you're still not driving a BMW or a Mercedes or the kind of clout I guess that comes with that. Now, for everything that you get, the performance and everything that I talked about, I can't see why you wouldn't at least go to a Volvo dealership and just take a look at this. Overall, I think it does a really good job for what it is. A really nice place to be. It's a great commuter car, and if you're looking for something that's a little bit different, check it out. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm hoping to have some more content out regularly, as I do travel a lot for work, so I'm always being put in new areas of the country, all over North America. I drive a ton of cars, so I'm hoping to do some more stuff. If you gained anything from this video, if you learned something, if you enjoyed the video at all, please hit that like button. Comment if there's a car that you think that I should review, that you're looking at, that you want me to go take a look at for you as well. Please comment below. If you have anything that you think that I can improve on, get better at, or include in these videos, please comment below. And then remember to hit that subscribe button as well. Oh man, I feel like those classic YouTubers that I always made fun of putting their plugs in at the end, but please do comment, like, and subscribe. I will have more videos out regularly for you guys. If you enjoyed this and you'd like to see more, I hope to see you on the next edition of this new channel, and I'm excited to kind of see what this brings. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time.